Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Stephanie and I am here today to start off the next reading vlog. I was not sure what I was gonna do or like what theme the reading vlog was gonna be. I realized that the book that I'm currently reading, I have 200 pages left to finish. And I was like, perfect, let's try reading 200 pages a day for a week. I love watching those videos. Those are some of my favorite reading vlogs to watch. So we're gonna be doing that. Today is Sunday, March 24th. It is almost 2 p.m. and I have not read any pages yet today. So I am going to try to read 200 pages before the end of the day. And then we're going to do the same thing for the rest of the week until next Sunday, March 31st. There are some days that I do read 200 pages, but most days I don't, so actually doing it every day for a week straight, I don't know how that's gonna go, but I love to try things, so we're gonna try it and see how it goes. But let me tell you about the book that I'm currently reading. I actually think that this is going to be a 5-star book for me, so, and it's the most unexpected thing. So I'm reading Butcher and Blackbird. This book is so popular right now. It's really having its moment. This is about two vigilante serial killers, and they kill people, like really bad people, people who do really, really bad things, who also kill people. And so they are like vigilantes. They're only killing people who are doing really, really horrible things, not just like random people. And they meet because they end up going to kill the same person. They're like, holy shit, like you're the orb weaver. I love your work. And she's like, oh my God, you're this. Like I'm such a fan. And they're like fangirling over each other's like serial killer legacies. So it's Sloane and Rowan, and you're following them. They start to have feelings for each other. So this is a serial killer romance, essentially. But I just love these two characters so much. I love their banter. I love the humor in this book. I love the side characters. Like, she has a best friend and he has two brothers, and just like even the banter between them is just like so funny. I've laughed out loud at this book multiple times, and the relationship is actually really cute. I get that they're serial killers, so that sounds insane. The things that they do and the way they are with each other it's cute. I can't lie, it's cute. I'm just eating this up. I love the writing. I think it's just fantastic. And this was purely a hype buy, and I didn't know if it was gonna be for me, but now I am so glad that I listened to the hype. So I'm on page 159. I think that this has about 370 pages. So almost exactly 200 left. I am going to start reading this and see how long it takes to get my 200 pages done. We'll see how it goes. I hope that you enjoy this, and I will talk to you with my next update. They're serial killers, but why is it so fucking cute? Like, this line. The same way I look at her and find beauty in the marks that are only temporary, she looks at me and I know she feels the same. There's art in our scars. There's wonder in the way we can heal. Like, that is fucking beautiful. Damn. Okay, so quick update. I am on page 242 of Butcher and Blackbird. So I have read 83 pages out of my 200. I'm obsessed with this book. I'm absolutely obsessed, in love, and just, I just love it so much. I'm not going to talk too much about it. I'll say a little more at the end. And I'll tell you the rating, of course, but I'll also talk about this in my reading wrap up. But I have about 100 pages left, and I don't see any way that this book could get anything other than 5 stars. But I have to go get ready. My girlfriend and I are going out to dinner, and doing some things tonight. So I have to read about, I have to read 128 more pages to get to 200. So that would have to be like right before bed, or I'll try to read a little bit more if I finish getting ready early, but I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work out. I started this, like I said, at 2 p.m. So I gave myself a real disadvantage here. And there were also some other things that I had to do. And right now it's 5:09. So 82 pages done, 128 to go. That's all I have. And I love this book. So I will check in when I've completed my pages, or if I haven't completed them, I'll just check in with where I'm at before going to bed. And then whatever I don't read, like let's say I can't even read any more today, then I would add the 128 pages onto tomorrow, which would mean that I would try to read 128 pages. Yeah, I definitely need to read a little bit more tonight if I'm going to try to do this, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, and I will check in shortly. Not shortly. I'll check in later. Let's have a quick chat. So today is Monday. It's the next day. It's 10:30 a.m. After we last spoke yesterday, I had only read 82 pages, and I was pretty damn sure that I wasn't going to be able to read anymore and get to the 200 after a little time went on. But then okay, enough of that. So I was pretty sure I was not going to be able to finish, and I was thinking about how I said that I would just add on the pages to the next day, and I was going to read like 328 pages today, and I was like, that is so delusional. You're not going to do that. So then I was like, you know, you started at 2. You kind of screwed yourself over that way by starting at 2 p.m. So really, you only had half the day. So I was then decided that I was going to be happy as long as I read 100 pages total, and then I would just start anew today and really start the challenge today. But I ended up not being able to sleep, and I finished Butcher and Blackbird, and I completed my 200 pages. Technically, it was at like 2 a.m., but I hadn't slept yet, so I'm counting it as the same day. This book, 5 stars. 5 stars all the way. I love these characters so much. These are probably 2 of my favorite characters that I've ever read about. It sounds crazy to say that you connected with 2 characters who are serial killers. However, in the other ways, the other things about them, I really connected with them. I loved them. There was a lot of humor in this book, and it was definitely like up my alley of humor. There were also some really, really beautiful quotes like I read you earlier. There was so much more of that, and this is one of my new favorite books. I really, really ate this up. Yes, there's a little bit of some stomach turning, kind of gruesome, like, you know, murder stuff. However, I am a pretty weak person when it comes to that, and while it was a little bit stomach turning, it was not anything that I couldn't deal with. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. If you feel like you really like can't, there's trigger warnings in the beginning of the book, and I'm gonna look at them because yeah, there's trigger warnings in this book, so just make sure you look at them, and if you feel like, you know, little mentions of those things are things you can handle, then fucking go run and get this book and read it, because I just loved it. I loved the characters. I loved their relationship. I loved their siblings and friends and side characters, and this is gonna be a fucking trilogy, which I'm so happy about, and the next book is following her best friend and one of his brothers. say less. However, I am gonna miss these characters a lot, but 5 stars all the way. I'll talk about it a little bit more probably in my reading wrap up, but I did just ramble on about it for a while. So with that being said, I picked the next book that I'm starting and I actually have already read 20 pages of it. And that is Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. This is obviously a missing person mystery thriller, and it seems like it's about these 2 women who go missing, and one of the women has a daughter and she goes missing as well, and then she comes back 11 years later and everyone wants to know what happened because this has been like a cold case. They're trying to figure out like what the fuck. And I think at first she isn't talking and then she does, and it's apparently a really crazy type of twist. I have heard fabulous things about this book. I have heard that the plot twists are really good. I've heard that the writing is good, and so far, I mean, 20 pages in is nothing, but I can tell that I think I'm gonna like it. So yes, I've read 20 pages today, which leaves 180 to go. So I am going to get to reading and I will check back with an update when I have one. All right, see you soon. Hi, let's have a quick chat. So it is Tuesday, March 26th at almost 2 p.m. And the big question is, did I read my 200 pages yesterday? Technically, sort of. I finished most of them after 12 a.m., but in my world, if you haven't gone to sleep yet, the next day hasn't started. So I'm gonna call it good. Yes, I finished my 200 pages. Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. This book is really good. So the book starts off as a really, like, you go in right away with a super adrenaline pumping, like thriller type of feeling and situation. And then it starts to morph into more of a mystery, but you're getting multiple points of view. You're doing dual timelines. You're basically going back and forth between when these people went missing versus now when the one girl was found. You're getting the points of view of a neighbor, the mom, the brother, and it's just like, it's very gripping. It's keeping my attention. I'm reading through it so fast. The writing is good, which is, I feel like, sometimes rare with thrillers. I'm really enjoying the writing. I'm enjoying the way that the story is being told. It's definitely keeping me on my toes. I feel like every character is suspicious in here, and I try not to theorize too much when I'm reading thrillers because I don't want it to ruin it for me, but I definitely have some suspicions about what might be going on, but I don't know. I really don't know what direction this is gonna take. I think I'm like 69% through the book, Goodreads said. Anyway, back to the point of the video. I am on page 224 right now, so technically I read a little over 200 pages yesterday because the book was actually that good. So let me look on Goodreads and see how long the book is. Okay, the book is 352 pages, so 352 minus 224 is 128. So it'll take me 128 pages to finish Local Woman Missing. Definitely think I'm gonna do that today. This book is such a fast read. I have an appointment in a few minutes, but after that I am gonna sit and read this book. And then that means I have 72 pages still to get to my 200 with another book. So I am kind of thinking I know what book I'm gonna read next, but I am not 100% dead set on it. This thriller is so good right now that if it ends on a high note and I end up really loving it the way that I think I'm going to, I'm probably not gonna do another thriller because I don't then want it to like kill the vibe if it's not a good thriller. So I have some ideas, but I'm not sure yet, but I am going to have my appointment, read some of this, and then I will check in with you when I am at least halfway through my goal. All right, let me give a little quick reading update. So it is 7:47 p.m. Tuesday, March 26th. I just finished Local Woman Missing. Holy shit, I was not expecting that. That took a different turn than I thought it was going to. I am settling on a 4-star rating for this one. I really enjoyed it. It was super fast paced. It was really well written. I loved the different points of view, loved the different timelines. I loved like the actual storytelling of it was really good. Like the way that Mary Kubica relayed the information to us. I liked that. I liked how it was told. The plot twists were not expected, for sure. I was definitely taken off guard. And there's just one plot line that I feel like I wish that it was discussed or developed a little more on what actually happened there. Like I am feeling like I have some questions, and also it's one of those reveals at the end that makes you look at the whole entire book differently and almost makes you want to reread it, or at least reread parts from the beginning, because it's just so fucking crazy. I don't know, like I want to read back and see if that ending actually made sense. You know what I mean? But overall, I enjoyed the book. I would definitely recommend it as a good thriller. 4 stars, and it ended up being 356 pages on my copy, so let me see. I've read 132 pages. It's 7:50. My girlfriend and I are watching Vanderpump Rules at 8 and The Valley at 9. So I'm not going to be able to read then, but how many pages is it that I have left? I'm not great at mental math. 68. 68 pages. Is that doable for me? Probably only if I stay up late and I'm not able to sleep, which is what's been happening. So it is possible, but it's also possible that I might not be able to do this 68 pages. I also don't know what book I'm going to read next. I don't know. I really don't know. Well, since we have 9 minutes until our show, I'm going to go look through books and decide what my next read is going to be. Maybe I'll read like the first couple of pages or something and see if it seems like it's going to be a vibe. But I will let you know what happens either before the end of the night or tomorrow morning. Day 3 of the challenge, 132 pages read. We'll see what happens. It is Wednesday, March 27th at 8:27 p.m. I started my next book for this video and I have read 100 pages of it. I started The Prison Healer by Lynnette Noni. This is the first book in a YA fantasy trilogy, and it takes place at this high security prison in this magical kingdom called Zalandov, and you're following this teenage girl named Kiva, and she is a prisoner. She was taken as a prisoner when she was a child, but every prisoner has a job, and her job is to be the healer. She calls herself the prison healer. She works in the infirmary. She was taught to heal from her dad. On the outside there is a rebellion happening. The leader of the rebellion, their queen, is captured and brought to the prison, and Kiva is supposed to keep her alive because she comes in a really bad condition so that she can compete in these elemental trials to prove her magic or something like that. They are about to start these trials, and Kiva has decided for multiple reasons that she is going to take the rebel queen's place. So that's kind of where we're at right now. She has basically just volunteered herself for these trials, and I'm really, really liking this so far. I am finding it really, really easy to read. It's very easy to understand. The pacing is good. I have heard a lot of people say that it's slow. I don't think it's slow. I'm really into it. I like that the writing is very straightforward. It's very easy to understand. The main character, Kiva, seems like a bad bitch, and the cover is really cute. So far so good. I'm really, really liking this. Glad that I picked it up. This is where I'm at. That's what 100 pages looks like. Like I said, it's 8:30. I have 100 more pages left to go for today. I think that I'll probably be able to get it done before I fall asleep. It's been like a very chill, rainy day here. Halfway through my goal for the day, I am going to try to get through my next 100 pages. I got through this first 100 really quickly, and I wanted to keep reading, so should be easy enough as long as I manage my time well. I wasn't sure how it would be trying to read of this book in chunks like that, but it's really working out. So that's my update for today. I am going to keep reading this, and I'll check in either before I go to sleep or probably tomorrow morning. Good afternoon. Today is Thursday, March 28th at 12:53 p.m. and I have been on my reading game since early this morning. I've been reading on and off, and I have already read 164 pages today. I'm ahead. I'm doing great. But last night I did not end up reading anymore. So I only read 100 pages yesterday. But I'm already almost at my goal for today. So I am 264 pages through The Prison Healer, and I like this book. I think that it is very easily digestible. It's not one of those fantasy books that takes a ton of brain power to understand the world and everything like that. This right now is mostly pretty character driven. It feels like we're getting to know the characters because it's the start of a trilogy. The very basic foundations of the plot, but I will say, like, the plot is not the most interesting thing in the world. This is not the most action-packed book by any means. It definitely feels like a setup for a series, but because it's so just easy to read and the main character, Kiva, is just so lovable and cool, so I'm really enjoying this. I'm probably gonna keep reading after I even hit 200, honestly, because then I'm only gonna have a little bit more left of this and I'm probably gonna want to finish it. I've heard that this has crazy plot twists at the end. I definitely have some thoughts as to what it might be, but I don't know. I will let you know if I am correct. That is my update for now. I'm gonna continue with this and I will keep you posted when I have finished. All right, I officially have finished my 200 pages for today. I'm on page 305 of The Prison Healer, which puts me at 73% through the book, and things are kind of just starting to get a little juicier, so I feel like I'm probably gonna keep reading it. I am still really feeling the same way as I was earlier. I like this. I like it. It's not the most complicated thing in the world. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but I really like the characters. I'm pretty sure I have an idea of what this twist is going to be, but we shall see. But either way, I finished my 200 pages, so anything that I do today is just extra. So we have then tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday still left. So 3 more days. We'll see how it goes. That's all I have for now. Hello, it is Friday, I always have to check the date. It's Friday, March 29th at 5:30 p.m. and I'm here to give you an update. So last time we talked, I had already read my 200 pages for yesterday. I ended up binging this book and finishing it. I am ending up with a 4.5-star rating for this book. I really, really liked it. I loved the main character, Kiva. I liked the side characters as well. It wasn't, like I said, the most adventurous or exciting, action-packed type of book, but I really appreciated that it didn't try to be more complicated than it needed to be. I love fantasy, but I'm not a high fantasy reader yet. So for me, I don't want to necessarily be super confused by world building and things of that nature in a fantasy book. This had world building in it and obviously like had fantasy elements, but it was very, very straightforward. The writing was very straightforward. I felt like I was being spoon-fed the information in a way that allowed me to read this quickly, but I really enjoyed the characters and the story. The plot twists at the end definitely caught me off guard. There was like a moment at some point in the book where I thought, is it gonna be that? And then brushed it off like very quickly, but I was pretty surprised by the end of this. And I don't have the other 2 books, but I had an Amazon gift card, so I ordered Gilded Cage and The Blood Trader, and I'm probably going to read Gilded Cage right after I read the book that I started today, because I did start a new book today. I've only read 30 pages of it, but I started Listen for the Lie. This was my book of the month book for this month, for March, and it's a thriller, and it's one of those thrillers with a true crime podcast in it. So it's basically following this story of this woman, young woman, named Lucy from a small town in Texas who is accused of murdering her best friend, Savannah, but there wasn't enough DNA evidence to actually convict convict her, and she states that she has absolutely no memory of the night whatsoever. It's interesting because she's not saying she for sure didn't do it or for sure did. She is like stuck by for 5 years that she doesn't know. Like, she genuinely doesn't know. 5 years later, a true crime podcaster decides to take on the case and try to figure out, because it's a cold case, he's going to basically attempt to solve it. It reminds me a lot of All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham, which was also a podcast-based book, and I loved that book. That was 5 stars for me. But I've only read 30 pages of this, but it's gripping me already. The story, the main character, her point of view, she's very snarky as a main character, and I don't know if 100% of her humor is gonna be for me. So we'll see about that. But the actual mystery element is interesting. You're getting Lucy's point of view, and then you're getting the point of view of the podcast, reading it as if you're listening to it. But I've read 30 pages, like I said, so I have 170 pages left to go for today. It is already 5:30 in the evening, so I don't know exactly what I'm gonna get done, but I'm gonna try my best. I read so many pages, over 200 yesterday. It was like actually insane. But the pages on the Prison Healer, I feel like the words cut off and there's still like this much space left in the page. Like, they're not full pages and the font's really big. That one was just really quick to read. That is my update for Friday. 2 more days left after this, but first we have to see if I accomplished the goal for today. So I'm gonna get to reading, and I will see you soon with an update. Okay, so today is actually Sunday. Let me explain. So yesterday I got about like 30 seconds of footage before my camera just died, and it was already late at night, and so I just put it down and I didn't finish. And then when I uploaded the clip today, it just wasn't even worth keeping in. So just let me explain what has happened over the last day. So like I said, on Friday I only read 103 pages, but yesterday I ended up reading a little bit over 200, like 220. So I finished Listen for the Lie. I ended up giving this book 4 stars. This was a good thriller. I know that I was saying in the clip before that I wasn't sure if the main character Lucy's snarky kind of humor and attitude was gonna be for me, but I actually found myself really enjoying Lucy's character. I liked her kind of sarcastic, snarky demeanor. It ended up working for me. I thought that it was funny. I don't think that it's necessarily everybody's humor or cup of tea, kind of in the same way that I feel about Butcher and Blackbird. As far as like the actual story and the pacing, I was really into this. I really enjoyed it all the way through. Up until the end, I felt like the ending was a little bit rushed and disappointing. It wasn't that I saw the ending coming, because I didn't. I guess I just expected there to be more to it. So it was just like an ever so slight let down. And then there was just this like one trope in it that when it happens in a thriller, it does bother me, but it wasn't as bad in this book. But 4 stars, solid thriller. I feel very similarly as I did to the other thriller that I just read, Local Woman Missing. Solid 4 stars. Not a perfect thriller by any means, but solid, really good. So that is that one. So then today is Sunday, March 31st. It is the last day of this 200 pages a day little challenge. I started The Gilded Cage, which is the second book in the Prison Healer trilogy. I got 90 pages into this so far today. I'm really enjoying it, and it's definitely already a lot more action-packed and adventurous than the first one. So it's still really good. I feel like it's still very straightforward, very like easy to digest storytelling, but like lovable characters and an interesting plot line. So I'm really liking this. 90 pages through, so I have a little over 100 pages left. I think it's about 4 o'clock, so I definitely think that I will be able to finish my 200 today, and then that will be the end of this challenge and this video. So I'm going to get to some reading, and I will check back when I have completed my 200 pages. Okay, sorry if the lighting is a little bit yellow. It's a little bit strained right now, but I am here to give my final update for this video. So for Sunday, I ended up reading 140 pages of The Gilded Cage. So I did not read my 200, but I read 140. Still a really good effort. if I say so myself. I am now 140 pages through this book. I'm still feeling the same way as I was in the last clip. I'm really enjoying it. Love the writing, love the characters, and I do feel like this one is definitely moving a lot faster than the first one, so really enjoying this. But that actually concludes my week of reading 200 pages a day. So it looks like, let me check on my phone. Honestly, this might not be 100% correct. I will come back and tell you in editing if it is, but it looks like that I read 200 pages on 1, 2, 3, I think 4 out of the 7 days, or 3 out of the 7 days. I can't tell. I think I messed up one of these, but I'll put here how many days I actually completed 200 pages. With doing this video, I was able to complete 4 books, which is crazy to read 4 books in 1 week for me. I had such a lackluster reading month up until this point, and all of the books in this video ended up being so good and really like redeemed March for me. So I'm so glad I did this. Just to like quickly go over what I read in this video. So I finished Butcher and Blackbird. This was 5 stars for me. I'm absolutely obsessed with this book. And then I read Local Woman Missing. This was 4 stars. Then I read The Prison Healer, which was 4.5 stars. And last I finished Listen for the Lie, which was also 4 stars. And then I started The Gilded Cage, of course. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it was fun. Let me know if you have read any of these books and what you think about them. Subscribe if you like book videos, reading vlogs, all of those things. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next one.